Hey guys, I want to apologize profusely to everyone. I fully intended to do another EE Live Q&A today, but guess what? I'm a Canadian immigration lawyer who has a day job, and I started a consultation with a client at 11 Mountain Standard Time, 11 a.m. And unfortunately, there were a number of things going on, and that client just needed me to work through a few things with them. And I ended up spending almost 3 hours with them. And I knew that it was going to mean that I wasn't able to do an EE Live Q&A today. But the reality is, guys, I've told you this repeatedly. When people engage our firm, I treat them like family. And this person really needed to talk, really needed some help. They had some huge issues they were dealing with. And I felt it was important for me to give them that time, regardless of the inconvenience that it definitely caused many of you, especially those of you who are tuning in at just really, really late hours in your home countries. So I'm so sorry about that. I feel really, really bad about it. So tomorrow, and I'm gonna put this in here too. Tomorrow, Mountain Standard Time, noon, we are going to be doing this again. Don't forget to put EE Live Q&A in the subject line if your email right here. If you want to send me a question that you'd like to be considered in tomorrow's in tomorrow's live Q&A. I'm not sure if I'm going to have a guest on, and that's another thing, because my guest was so graciously willing to come on, and then I wasn't able to make it. So I felt really bad about that. But regardless, these things happen. I hope you guys can understand. Although we have over 110,000 people in our Express Entry Law Facebook group, I do have a day job, and when individuals need me, sometimes I have to make decisions in terms of priorities. So this time was actually, I think, the first time that I've ever done this, where I had to miss an EE Live Q&A and leave everybody who had organized their schedules to be able to tune in. I had to leave you guys aside, unfortunately, and I'm really sorry about that. But tomorrow, we're going to make it awesome, and tomorrow is going to be all about you guys. So those of you who tuned in and are dedicated and are there live, I'm going to answer all of your questions. Now, there's going to be a ton of content, just a ton, because people are going to be asking questions throughout virtually the whole Q&A. And I'm going to do my best to track them and then post in the description everything that I covered. So this EE Live Q&A is going to be just a crazy, crazy information explosion on Express Entry. But remember, keep the questions about Express Entry. And for those of you who, for whatever reason, don't get your questions answered, my eCam product that I use for doing my Facebook Live videos no longer is able to display, thanks to Facebook. And thanks for, the fact that this is a group. For whatever reason, it doesn't display your comments, so it's a little bit more challenging to do that. And if I go on right here while have all of you guys live, and I watch myself, I can go to see if people are putting comments in. But it's a kind of a tricky process. So hopefully you guys are okay with working with me, and I'll try my best to answer questions as they come. But anyways, that's about it. So I just wanted to send this out to say an apology, I guess, for not being out there for you, because I genuinely care about you guys. So enough of me blithering on. It was a beautiful day today. I was able to ride my bike to work. I'm feeling a whole lot better. And you guys can probably see I'm getting a little bit more sleep now than I was before. And some wonderful, cool things are happening. I just want to point out a couple of things, because I'm just not as available as I used to be. When I started the group, I was able to come on, answer everyone's questions. I want to remind everybody, especially the long-term members who go on and answer questions, please link back to the source of your information. And Devinder Singh and other people go on there and just answer questions, which are wonderful. But please go back and actually link back to the source of your information. That really helps people. And so if you're doing that, take the extra step. You know where you found the information. If you don't know where you found the information, then don't say it. Don't guess. And some people have been doing that as well. My moderators are pretty good about just policing and making sure people are answering those questions correctly, at least in the way that I want. I want this to be an express entry law Facebook group, okay? This isn't some express entry group that some unregulated consultant or some agent has put out just to get people coming to their site so that they can hire them. This express entry law group, it has law in it because that's how I want to treat this. Not from the standpoint of me providing legal advice, but I want the people who are going on there to reference the law so they can actually show people where their answers come from, and then we can always make sure that the information being provided is correct. And as I'm less and less able to get on and answer questions one-on-one, I rely heavily on you awesome people to make the group what it is today. And as I've watched and seen so many of you who post your golden email notifications and that you've got your confirmation of permanent residence, and even those of you who have landed, it makes me so satisfied. You have no idea how just wonderful it is to know that I've been of benefit to people on such a grand scale. And the reality is most of you just want to do it yourself, and that's totally fine. You've seen recently the people that have been more willing to actually reveal when they run into problems. And often people just ask the question, but the reason they're asking the question is because they've had their express entry application returned or refused. So thank you to you people who are being honest, because there's so many people in our group that just say, you don't need to do anything. You can find resources on the internet. You can go search the government website and all your answers are there. That's not the case. There's a lot of express entry that when your situation departs even slightly from the norm, you just don't have answers to it. I know, because I get the questions all the time. I get the bookings, and I've limited my consultations now so that I can actually get my existing work done. So it's not as easy to book consultations with me. But I want you guys to know that if we all pitch in and we elevate the level of this group, it is going to be awesome forever. It will be the single best resource for express entry going forward. Now, with that being said, I want to show you guys a couple things within our group. And so because I'm not available and because this is mostly going to be a recorded video that people will go back and watch, I want to show you a few other resources. So you can see here, this is my live one right here. But at the top of our group, you'll see that there are announcements, and it's kind of hidden here. But if you click on here, you'll see this one right here. So one of the things I realized is that many of you guys just don't see this. And if you do, you stumble across it. Also, this is for people that are watching on the Canadian Immigration Institute YouTube channel. You can actually sign up to be on my email list. And the first wave of information that I'm sharing is 15 of my absolute best content on express entry. The tips and strategies that really you're paying all of your consultants and lawyers all over the world to get that kind of information. This is stuff that's going to cost you more money than a consultation with me, which right now for a 30-minute consult, it's $210. So understand that right here at the top, you can click on this link, and it's CanadianImmigrationInstitute.com/EE-sign-up, SIGNUP. And so if you go to that link, which is this one right here, and I'll make this a little bit bigger so everybody can see, you can go here and you can click on Get Express Entry Tips, and that will prompt you to give me your email address, and then I can make sure 100% that as you guys are trying to get access to the information that I'm sharing, you can actually get it. And I also want to let you guys know that I'm in the process of updating my Express Entry Complete Step-by-Step Guide to Doing It Yourself. There were a few little cosmetic changes, I'll describe them as, within Express Entry, where substantively nothing has changed, but the look and feel is just a little bit different. I'm in the process of updating my document checklist, and I'm going to be, for those of you who've subscribed, you'll have the benefit of that new updated checklist. And for those of you who haven't, understand the document checklist is really where most of the applications get refused. Something's deficient, you've forgotten to do something, or one of your documents isn't in exactly the same format that the government wants. So hopefully this has been helpful to you guys to this stage. But this here is always available, and it's priced at a level where you guys can benefit from it. If you want to subscribe to for just a month, that's perfectly fine. $97 US will give you everything. And then if there's any specific things that weren't covered there, you can always book a consult. Now, I'm toying with a few other things to try and add even more value, but at this stage, the guide speaks for itself. And those of you who are interested in getting just a little bit of help, I highly recommend that you consider doing it. And you can just go to the CanadianImmigrationInstitute.com and it will take you right to the login place for that. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Those who are sticking around and watching this live, I appreciate you guys being a part of this. And all of you who have missed the EE Live Q&A or showed up at noon and realized that it wasn't happening, I just want to extend out another sincere apologies for that. So thanks for tuning in. Come back tomorrow, noon Mountain Standard Time, and it's going to be the Express Entry Extravaganza Q&A. So thanks so much, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Mark Holthe, Canadian immigration lawyer, ex-immigration officer, and former high school teacher, signing off, wishing you guys all the best as you navigate this crazy world that we call Express Entry.